Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm Malicious Female Fan Steve Malicious here, and I want to take a moment to talk about the Pixel 6 and the iPhone 13, because you're going to see a lot of comparisons in the next few days, and I've already seen a lot of them on Twitter, but I just kind of wanted to speak about it for a few moments. As you know, we're going to have the Pixel 6 here on this channel. I'm waiting for my Coral one to come in. Should be here by the end of the week, and based on the reviews I've seen already, I'm really excited. I think at $599, if it delivers what everybody's saying, that's a home run for sure. But where I want to stop short, and this is why I've seen a lot of this on Twitter, and it starts to alarm me a little bit, is that while we can have some fun, and there might even be some objective comparisons to be had there when you compare, well, we compare the cameras, right? And even I think some of that is personal preference, but you can put the photos side by side, iPhone camera and the Pixel 6 camera, and go from there. You can compare battery life and some other things, but to just say wholesale, one is better than the other, and state it as fact instead of personal opinion, which I've seen on Twitter a lot today, and I've responded to some of them, to me comes off as a little disingenuous, and I would warn people who are watching these videos about this stuff. And it boils down to me, iOS versus Android, because a lot of people are also passing off just, well, one's better than the other, objectively. No, it doesn't matter. It's categorical. One's better than the other. What? They both try to do very different things for different people. And the best way I can explain the difference between the two is using a very Jersey. So I'm from New Jersey, okay? We have diners. Android is the diner. A very diverse menu. There's lots of stuff on there. You can do almost anything. It does stuff pretty well. There's customizable options there. You could get your pancakes. You could get your eggs. You could get a salad. You could get chicken. You could get pasta. It's coming up on winter time. It's going to get cold. Get yourself a bowl of matzo ball soup and you're set to go. Apple and iOS is the steakhouse. They don't have that big diverse menu. That's not their goal. They want to do that limited set of things that they do, but do it really well and make sure that the quality of the experience that you get is the same a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. But at the same time, you don't go to the steakhouse and then go on Yelp and give them a 1-star review because they don't make omelets. Well, of course they don't make omelets, okay? But at the same time, you don't go to the diner and compare it to the steak that the steakhouse that specializes in that gives you, because it's not fair to the diner either. They both have their places. And a lot of times when we're talking about YouTube and this little community that we have with technology, it's younger people, okay, 20s. I won't include myself in anymore, late 30s. I'm basically a dinosaur, 100 years old as far as YouTube's concerned. But we're enthusiasts. People who are watching these videos are going to have a bias towards something that appeals to tech enthusiasts. We love the customizability of Android. We love the fact that there's different skins and different manufacturers can have all these different features that they put in a different way, and how you have that customization almost down to the hardware level with what people could do with Android and what the developers can come up with and how it all works. But at the same time, don't then turn your eye to Apple and say, well, what's your problem? Because if you're legitimately, you're going to tell me that if they really wanted to, if that was their focus, that the engineers at Apple couldn't come up with a way to effectively have real multitasking on iPhone. Of course they could. They don't. Why? Because it takes away and it distracts and it pulls resources from the quality experience, that steak that they want to do really well, okay? Because it's not just tech enthusiasts that Apple has to deal with. They have plenty of people who rocking their iOS 15 on their iPhone 8 who don't care about multitasking or all the rest of it. They just want to be able to make that call to make sure that their kids got home from school, or to order that pizza or that work call, whatever it happens to be. There's a different demographic there that Android doesn't always have to cater to across a wide variety of devices, okay? So there's that. And ask yourself this. When it comes down to it, when you're talking about the comparison between the two, if you had to hand your grandmother or elderly parent one phone that you personally were responsible for the tech support for, okay? You handing grandma an iPhone and you're saying, okay, I'll call you next week, grandma, or you handing her an Android and getting every 5 minutes you're getting that call. Well, why is this frozen? Why this crap? What's a reset? What do I have to do a reset for? Why is it this? What's the you understand? There's places for each. And I've always been incredibly uncomfortable comparing iOS devices and iPhones to Android devices. And that includes Pixel devices, because they're just on a They're different levels. Different levels for different people. So be careful this week when you see a lot of people who just reviewed the iPhone 13, then turn around and they're reviewing the Pixel 6, and they're going on about how great the Pixel 6 is, and they can both be great. That's not to say that. But don't get lulled into this sense of security with everybody going on about how great the Pixel 6 is and how it's better than the iPhone in some capacities according to their opinion, because I don't think it takes into account what the majority of iPhone customers are looking for. There's a wider range of perspective that needs to happen here when you're talking about iOS devices. And I just want everybody to kind of be aware of that as we're going through this week. That being said, really excited about the Pixel 6. But I think the fairer comparison for the iPhone, and I've said it before, is the Z Flip 3. Because it goes after that layer and that portion of the consumer base that Apple has that's less concerned about the nuts and bolts of the device, because there's a heck of a lot more interesting Android devices out there than the Z Flip. Okay? A lot more features, a lot more stuff, better battery life, all the rest of it. But this appeals to that part of the iPhone crowd that's in it for the status, right? It's in it for the cool factor, the wow factor, what they used to get with their iPhone. So this could be an actual conversation. But when you're talking about the nuts and bolts of both iOS and Android, I think you're doing yourself a disservice when you're comparing the two. That's why I don't do it, and I would really caution people passing off one's better than the other as fact, when really it's going to come down to nothing but personal preference, what you like to do with your device, and what's important to you. If it's stability, if it's reliability, if it's just pick it up and it's going to work and it's going to work every single time, you might want to skew more towards iOS. If you love customization, if you love widgets, if you love having a bunch of different apps and manufacturers that could come up with all these cool features on phones, you're going to skew towards Android. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.